Need a search engine optimization SEO services? Then get in touch with our professional and friendly team to learn more about our range of custom and tailored services designed to suit your exact needs. Every one of our professionals have acquired years of experience, which ensures you get the very best. Our experienced staff is waiting to hear from you and to answer any specific questions that you may have on how we can meet your needs. Just ask for a consultation and let us prove our commitment to you as we promise to maintain the highest level of quality and commitment. Your satisfaction is our prime concern. So please, don't hesitate to get in contact with us and let us show you all the great options we have.
Loud and proud, outrage porn free, civilly disobedient media broadcasting live on the Worldwide Coalition Radio Network at coalitionradionetwork.com. Facebook.com/The Coalition Radio, on the mighty Twitter at Coalition_radio, and of course the mothership. Well, not really at coalitionradio.us anymore. Coalitionradionetwork.com as we continue our network upgrades this week to begin to display the full range of offerings that will be available on coalitionradionetwork.com, of which Coalition Radio, hosted by myself, Pat Ford, will be just one of the few offerings. We're targeting legitimate news, bleeding edge news, conversation of third rail political subjects. We also want to focus on the art, sports, and the culture at large. And an integral part of that is a good friend of mine who was on the show last week. He's joining us again tonight. And, of course, I'm talking about Joe Calabro. He is with GolfNewsRI.com. Joe, welcome back to the Coalition.
Hey, Pat. Thanks so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and you know what? We're going to have an announcement later in the week about some of the work that Joe is doing. But for tonight, he's going to be part of our little effort here called the Coalition. And we're on intermittently through the week. Again, as we upgrade the website, we'll have additional ways to find out what medium is coming up, including, starting next week on a regular basis, something called Coalition After Dark, which is available only on our website, coalitionradionetwork.com. All right. Not available some of the, what's the technical term, Joe? NFSW. Yeah, preventive social media sites. But, Joe, welcome back. Again, the site continues to explode. You're adding all sorts of news and features. So now we're going to focus not just from an introduction to the site, but we're going to talk about what's going on in that wacky world of golf here in Rhode Island. So let's start off with right away the obvious question. Jeaner made a couple more announcements this week. There continues to be border wars with wild raving bands of golfers attacking each other on the border. I guess, is it divided by colors? Is it one color of tartan plaid is taking on the group that wears pink salmon shorts? I'm not sure, but give us an overview of what's going on in golf during this latest week in the age of COVID.
Well, pretty much, I mean, the last 2 days have been super busy. Today was a huge breaking news day for us. I think I checked a little while ago. We're going to have record traffic today. Now, we've only been around for 4 weeks, so that's not saying a whole lot. But, hey, a record is a record, right?
Absolutely. Go with it, man. Work it, baby.
A record is a record, as they say. So the most recently today, I guess we'll just start there. Today's, like I said, it's been insane. I was writing right up until like 7 o'clock, and I was like, oh, crap, I have to go get ready to come on the show. I was wearing like sweatpants and a sweatshirt. I was like, uh-oh, that's not going to do. So I ran upstairs, jumped in the shower, came back out, set the stuff up, and here we are. So it was just one of those days. It was a lot of fun. But anyways, enough about me. The most recent breaking news within the last couple of hours or so was that Triggs Memorial Golf Course in Providence is going to open up for play on Saturday. Now,
nice.
The crazy story is, because I thought for a minute that we messed up the story originally, and then I later confirmed that we didn't, so that was good. But anyway, the crazy thing is, yesterday, Providence Mayor Jorge Elorza released an executive order, and he said that Providence golf courses were supposed to stay closed, and they're supposed to be closed until at least June 5th. So we went with that story, got a bajillion page views. People were mad, as you can imagine, because Triggs is one of the premier golf courses in the state. And then, so I thought, okay, well, that stinks for them, but you know, it was kind of crazy news because every other golf course in the state is open. Just about every other golf course in the state, in the country, is now open. Mm-hmm. But Triggs was still closed. And then today it comes out that Triggs is now going to be open. So I wasn't sure what the details were or what changed, or if Triggs was battling with either Lorza or Raimondo or whoever it might have been. But so that's kind of been a crazy turn of events in just a matter of days, or just a matter of less than a day, really. And I guess it just goes to show, as I said on my Facebook page, in crazy turn of events, and I guess with these coronavirus openings and closings, you never really know, and things change on a dime. So that's just what we're going with. But we didn't have the story wrong. That's one of the things I was worried about. I thought I maybe messed up the story or misread it. You know, these government press releases, you can easily misread it or misinterpret it, and that's what I originally thought. That's what I was worried about. But I did confirm, for whatever it's worth, that we didn't have the story wrong. They just changed course.
Now, what tell us about Triggs, because for a lot of folks, they're novice golfers. I think the sport is actually going to experience a resurgence this summer because it is an outdoor activity that involves walking, beautiful scenery, walking and exercise, fresh air. By definition, it's easy, even in a foursome, to social distance. There's real opportunity for golf to find a place at the table. What's special about Triggs? Tell us about the playing, the course, the cost. Give us a complete tour.
So Triggs is located in Providence. That's why they were able to be closed while the courses are open, because there was a Providence executive order. That was part of the initial problem. But it's a Donald Ross course. It's one of the premier courses in the state, premier public courses, I should say, in the state. I couldn't tell you the price offhand, but I know they have all kinds of deals, all kinds of leagues, all kinds of things going on throughout the summer and even into the spring and the fall, whatever. But it's a beautiful course. It's a great layout. It's maybe one of the best layouts in the state as far as like hole layouts, and it's challenging. Obviously, it's a tough course. And for me personally, when I was a kid, I kind of grew up learning to play at Triggs, like really learning. Obviously, we all went to driving ranges and stuff, and all the kids do that. But really learning the game, really learning how to play and how to get around the golf course, really started at Triggs for me. Now the same people aren't there anymore. They've moved on. But still, Triggs is still Triggs. And every time I go there, I always think of, being a little kid and just practicing on the greens and trying to figure out how to get from one hole to the other. So to me, Triggs always has a special place. It means a little extra to me. And my dad used to be the president of the Inter Club at Triggs way back in the day. And he saw a lot of relationships there. We saw a lot of relationships there. So for me personally, Triggs is important. I don't play there as much anymore as I used to, or as much as I probably should. Because like I said, some of the people have moved on. But it's a great course. It's a great layout. It's one of the premier public courses in the state, maybe in all of New England. They certainly have issues just like every other course. But for me, I think Triggs is one of the best courses in the state, and it's certainly a draw to out-of-state golfers, which was also part of the issue with it being closed for so long. So I'm happy they're back open. It's a great place, and like I said, I really learned the game there after I got off the driving range.
Now, Donald Ross course, when you have you think of the historical courses or the designers out there, and say Jack Nicklaus or a Donald Ross, they design a course. Does that, by definition, mean that the physical layout of the course will stay intact for the duration, with maybe perhaps changes in greens and the way the course cuts, things like that? Are they kind of locked in that way?
Yeah, generally speaking. I mean, every course undergoes some changes, just to refurbish and kind of fix things up. But generally speaking, if you have like a big time designer like that, usually they try to keep the courses the same, because Donald Ross is a world famous designer. He's designed courses all over the world. Now, the people at Metacomet might argue with you because their course is going away after the season, as has been widely reported in their Donald Ross course. And I believe I believe that there's only been like 60 something Donald Ross courses in the entire world that have been like completely demolished, and so now Metacomet is going to be one of those courses, which is unfortunate, obviously. But yes, generally speaking, Donald Ross courses, like big name courses like that, usually stay the same. Barring minor changes or barring some major disaster that happens, which occasionally does. Generally speaking, those courses kind of stay true to what they are.
Now, is there an attribute of, say, a Donald Ross course versus, say, a Jack Nicklaus course? Is there one, or are each course sort of their own literally their own painting, their own work of art?
To me, each course is kind of has its own attributes depending on where it is. I'm sure if you really looked at each Donald Ross course or each, Jack Nicklaus course or whatever course. Now Tiger Woods is designing courses. I'm sure they'll all be. You can probably find similarities, but and I'm sure if you ask a Donald Ross historian, which there are those people, they really are Donald Ross historians, and they write books about him and everything. They could probably tell you tons of details and tons of changes and all kinds of stuff. But to me, I think every course has its own unique attributes, and so that's kind of. And Donald Ross is no different. Obviously, Donald Ross is one of the most famous golf designers in the world. So that's always kind of extra special to have one of those courses in your state, and we have multiple, and now we're losing one in a few months, unfortunately.
Now, by definition, I guess the next big story is Massachusetts golf course. Are they open for business, or what's the status there?
Yeah, so Massachusetts golf courses just opened this morning for business. They opened immediately. They were the last state in the country, Pat, the last state in the whole country to open for golf, if you can believe that. Massachusetts has about 350 something golf courses in the state, somewhere around there. The number could be a little bit off, but it's somewhere around there. And they just opened this morning after weeks of going back and forth between the governor's office, Charlie Baker, and the Massachusetts Golf Association. Actually, we had a story Tuesday. Might have been Tuesday, of that two courses that actually are just outside of Worcester were threatening to open anyway if the governor didn't let them open, because they couldn't afford to. And not all these courses make millions and millions of dollars, and these particular courses were family owned. It was a family business, and they threatened to open anyway. And now I'm not sure if they really were going to do that. In some ways, unfortunately, we didn't get to that point, because from a news perspective, that would have been fascinating. But I'm happy that Massachusetts was finally able to open golf courses, and they finally kind of got their game back together, got their game, and now they can stop coming to Rhode Island or stop going to Connecticut, because a lot of Massachusetts golfers were driving to Connecticut because Connecticut was open. So now it kind of becomes a little bit safer, if you will, as far as not spreading the coronavirus. So that was good. But yeah, they were the last state in the U.S., in the entire country, to open for golf, and they just opened this morning. First thing this morning, they announced it. So,
and for every big mega golf course there is, that's got the big greens fees and the expensive club, and and they're beautiful, and so many of them have such a storied tradition. I'm not a great golfer, but one of the great golf tournaments I went to a couple times was held at some place called the Raleigh Country Club up in northeastern Massachusetts. I mean, northeastern Massachusetts. We're up above Gloucester. We're actually closer to Seacoast, New Hampshire, and it's a 9-hole club. It's, as I understand it, is privately owned, and that's the sort of bread and butter club that really makes up in a lot of small communities. It's a local club. It's a great Saturday morning for a lot of folks without the big expensive green fees. And those folks, for years now have been operating under what I call the verge of a nervous breakdown. I mean, there's, the insurance costs continue to rise, salaries continue to increase. You've got, real issues in terms of how they're allowed to treat their their greens. Water is always an issue with these courses. So it's not just an elitist sport. There's a lot of great club courses all around the Commonwealth, and particularly all around Rhode Island, where folks can play. Where it's all the benefits of a private club, and quite frankly, the cost structure of a public club. And that's what you start to lose as you force businesses like any other business. It's the guys in the middle, the ham and eggers, the guys who are just grinding it out every day, trying to afford people a quality product. They're the ones that get caught in this squeeze. And it's tough to go out and say to folks, listen, we got to raise money for our local golf course, because folks just associate it with with this sort of upper crusty environment. What would you say is the best small course, just from your playing? And it's in a while, I guess we really can't put you on the spot too many times like this. But do you have a favorite small course in the state that you like to play?
I don't know what you consider small. I mean, like a 9-hole courses. They have 9-hole courses. I was a member at Lincoln Country Club for a while, which is a private club, but it's very affordable. It's a little 9-hole course. Yep. After Triggs, I went to Lincoln. That was my first course where I was like a real member. Triggs was a public course, but my first real place of being a membership was at Lincoln Country Club, and I got to play whenever I wanted, pretty much. Continue to learn how to play and grow into the game. And so I like Lincoln Country Club just because I was there. But there's like Midville is another 9-hole course that's really good. Cranston Country Club is always a classic. It's not a 9-hole course; it's 18 holes, and I'm not sure if you would say it was small, but it's another great course. So there's plenty of little courses around that you can go and play and learn, and and just hone your skills and meet new people. You can meet all kinds of people in the game of golf, which is one of the best parts of the game, is the people that you meet and the connections that you make. So there's plenty of courses. I know there's still a few par 3 courses around, where you just want to go and take a pitching wedge and, smack the ball around for a little while. But small courses, I would say Lincoln Country Club. Like I said, it's private, but it's very affordable, and everyone's very nice there. And the course is always in great shape. And it's just 9 holes, so you're not stuck there for 6 hours playing around.
Now, speaking of being stuck there, per se, big announcement on golf carts, right? What's going on with golf carts?
Yeah, so golf carts are now allowed in Rhode Island. That was a story that came out late last night. The Rhode Island Golf Association sent an email after 10 o'clock last night saying that golf carts are now allowed for everybody in Rhode Island. Single use, you only have one person to a golf cart unless you're in the same household, right? So if I go play with my dad, we can sit in the golf cart together because we're in the same household. So so that was a big thing, a big deal, because not everyone can walk 18 holes or 9 holes or walk any holes really. Some people have disabilities or whatever. Now the carts were allowed for people with disabilities previously, but this is now golf carts available to everyone. They sent an email late last night, like I said, after 10 o'clock. We put up this morning, and it blew up our traffic right from the minute I posted it on Facebook, basically. And so that's been the reaction's been great. People are excited now to go play. They're excited to get their golf carts back, and so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. There's some other things that people are still kind of waiting for. One negative of the announcement from last night, which we put in our article, was that tournaments and leagues are currently prohibited, which is could be a problem if it continues later into the summer. But right now, it's still not terrible because we're not really in prime tournament season or prime league season. But that was one drawback of their announcement. But at least we have the golf carts, and I think most people are happy that we have golf carts because, like I said, people need them. And also, other than Massachusetts, every other state pretty much is open for golf carts. Right? Even Connecticut, whatever. Just about every state has been open for golf carts, and we were not. So that was a huge positive. And like I said, it blew up our traffic this morning, which is always fun, as you know.
Right.
So
right.
That was a big announcement last night. So we'll see going forward. There'll be more hopefully rollbacks a little bit as we move on here the next few weeks. and we'll go from there. But yeah, definitely a big positive reaction for people getting their golf carts back.
Now, on a sad note, a very sad note, Rhode Island this past week lost one of the true legends, a giants, really a national, international giant in the world of college golf. Who passed this week?
So just today, the former head coach of the Providence College golf team, Joe Prisco, passed away. And I didn't know much about him. I obviously read his bio, and he's in the Rhode Island Golf Hall of Fame. So that was just announced today. I'm not sure exactly when he passed away, but I saw the announcement today, and I put it up on our site. Again, I'm not sure if he was, if he passed away today or if he passed away a couple days ago. I'm not really sure. But we found out about it today and put it up. So that was sad. Like I said, I didn't really know him that well. I know he was a big time coach at PC. And he's in the Rhode Island Golf Hall of Fame and probably the PC Athletic Hall of Fame. So that was sad news in the world of golf, locally anyway.
Yeah, particularly since, early on, golf programs are so well established now at colleges across the nation, particularly these big southern state universities, Arizona State, Florida, all of that combination of weather, facilities, as well as these big draws. 60 years, I guess, as the PC Friars head coach, over 400 wins. What was it, a 403? I'm just taking some notes here. A 403 to 119 mark. I would just challenge other PC coaches to come even close to that, especially some of the basketball ones, just to throw that out there. Now, let's segue for a second to something fun. You've got a product that you want to tell us a little bit about, don't you?
Yeah, so GolfNews RI, we're very happy to endorse this new Cup Caddy product, which we started putting on Facebook, and they just kind of officially launched it today, but they've had it out for a couple of days. They've already sold it across the country, including some here in Rhode Island. And so it's made by Heritage Bay, by the Rhode Island-based company Heritage Bay USA. Their offices are in North Providence, just off of Mineral Spring Avenue. And basically what this product is, it's basically like a little metal, the video is coming up, so that's great. Awesome. Yeah, basically it's a little metal, it's almost like a hook with a metal base. You put it in the bottom of the hole, you make the putt, and then you just lift the thing up, and the ball comes out. And that prevents people or golfers from touching the flagstick, putting their hand in the hole, because that's all against restrictions. That's all restricted. And golf courses across the country, not just in Rhode Island, but across the country. And it's a neat little product. And one of the big drawbacks of golf, not only in Rhode Island but anywhere, is they don't want you touching anything, right? They don't want you touching the flagstick. They don't want you touching any of the they don't want you touching the hole. And one of the frustrations has been that they previously, a lot of courses have had the raised cups, so they would have taken the cup right out of the hole, and you just, as long as you put the ball and it hits the cup, it counts. So you could hit the ball at 100 miles an hour, and as long as it hits the cup, the raised cup, that technically counts. And that's been a frustration of golfers in the state, because, as we all know, that's not really making a putt. That doesn't really count. So now with this great product, you can at least actually make a putt, and the ball does actually go in the hole, and it gives people a more realistic approach to the game, instead of trying to hit it at a raised cup and kind of getting phony scores. And especially when you have to start calculating handicaps and then in tournaments, imagine playing club championship with a raised cup. That's not really even golf. So this is a great product, Cup Caddy. It's starting to make its way around courses and around the country, and we're happy here at GolfNews RI to endorse it, help market it a little bit. I'm doing some of the marketing for them, because I know the owners, or know the creators, I guess. So we're excited for that. We're excited for the product, and it helps bring golf back to some sense of normalcy, and let people actually play the game. And if you're playing for $10 on a Saturday morning, that raised cup won't mess you up.
Well, it's funny because I see two distinct advantages with it. Number one, one does not have to dive all the way over into the cup to get said ball out, which if, for example, you might be a little less flexible in life, that could be an advantage. The real challenge, however, though, and this might be an obstacle for me, is that you actually have to be able to hit the ball in the cup.
Right. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. So,
put the ball in the hole.
So as much as I'd like to avail myself of this product in the near future, it might be a while. Again, said inability to insert ball into one's cup. If you're just joining us, by the way, you are listening to the Coalition. As we always say, we are the Coalition, loud and proud, outrage porn-free, civilly disobedient media. But we're on a lighter note tonight. Joe Calabro from Golf News RI. Of course, that's Golf News RI, Rhode Island's newest entree into the interwebs, if you will, is here to have some fun. So we are committed when Joe comes on to have fun. People who know me know how difficult that is, but damn it, we're going to have fun, regardless of whether we like it or not. But it's great because as I mentioned last week when Joe made his first appearance, you look at the site, you look at the pretty pictures, you look at some of the products, and this is what we're going to feature every week: is different products, different holes, courses, conversation about what's going on in the world of golf. Obviously, COVID right now is got a shadow over all competitive athletics. But as I said also, I firmly believe that golf has got, I think, a new role in family life and in the sporting life these days, because it is, for lack of a better term, it is ideally configured and positioned as a burgeoning outdoor activity at a time when it's so difficult to engage in the outdoors. I mean, you won't have the crowds per se. The flow of the game itself creates a level of social distancing. You're outdoors. It's athletic. It's and it requires a great deal of skill. But at the same time, there's a tremendous amount of camaraderie and bonding that takes place on a day on the course, whether it be a couple of couples or just the boys out for a Sunday or Saturday morning. So I think it's got huge potential for comeback. And it's certainly, we're going to afford you through Joe's great new site all sorts of different ways to enjoy it here in Rhode Island, because we're not, Joe, I think you and I are going to make a solemn oath, we are not ready to give up on summer yet, are we?
No, I mean, summer hasn't even started yet.
Nope,
and golf courses are staying open. So my summer is not lost. I know people are upset about the Newport Folk Festivals and all that stuff, and rightfully so. I'm disappointed in myself and the status of restaurants and some of those outdoor venues like Blue on the Water and other things are seemingly up in the air at the moment. And again, rightfully so. I'm not looking to throw a party for myself here or a party for the game of golf, but right now our golf courses are still open. They've stayed open the entire time, and we're looking forward to a full summer on the golf course here in Rhode Island. Now, like I mentioned, there'll be restrictions, and tournament season right now is prohibited, and leagues are prohibited across the state. So again, we'll just have to wait and see what developments happen and what the world and what the state looks like in a month or two or a month and a half, whatever you want to call it. But our golf courses are still open. And the amazing thing to me, Pat, and I know we messaged on Facebook earlier. I sent you an email earlier. The amazing thing is, and in some ways it makes me, I don't know if proud is the right word. Again, I'm not looking for a party here to throw a parade or anything. I'm just, everything going on and all the crap that's going on, and the restaurants and businesses closing. Some of them, unfortunately, they're going to close for good. You have to think through all of it. The game of golf has for the most part stood up. I know there are a handful of states that did close for a while, but now every state in the country is back open for golf. And Rhode Island golf never closed, and so through all of it, we've still been able to play our great game and the game that everyone has a love-hate relationship with. And so that's been pretty cool to see. And like I said, I think I said it last week when we decided to go and launch Golf News RI, my buddy Rich and I, one of my fears was, well, how can we launch a website in the middle of a pandemic, right? How can we
Right.
launch a website, a business, whatever you want to call it, any of the above in the middle of the pandemic? And I was like, well, I guess we're just going to go with it because the website was ready to go. We were ready to go. I had backloaded weeks of content. It was almost like embarrassing. And we just decided to go with it. And our traffic has been great for the most part. We've certainly had our days where we grind it out. And just like every other sports entity out there, sports news entity out there, we've had our days certainly where we have to grind it out. But for the most part, our traffic has been great. We've had great news up, great content. And like I said, today we did a record number of page views. I don't know what it is at right now, but it's got to be close to 600 page views today. So for a Thursday afternoon, for a Thursday in the middle of May, that's not too bad. Now, granted, we had crazy breaking news yesterday and today, so that helps obviously. But hey, it still counts, and that's part of the business, part of the deal.
One of the things that you offer in the website, there's a lot of value here. And, again, if you look across the website, and of course we're talking about golfnewsri.com, we're here with Joe Calabro, one of the founders. There's a lot of value in terms of ongoing events and specials. For example, you've got a listing here. The beautiful Fenner Hill Golf Club down in Hope Valley, Rhode Island, is offering a Mother's Day special. And, a lot of moms play golf. It's a family sport that can be played by all ages, and this is what's great about the site. There's breaking news. There's going to be more and more content about how the game is played. But at the same time, if someone's offering a course like this, offering a $35 Mother's Day walking special on a weekend, on arguably what's going to be one of the most beautiful, hopefully, weekends of the spring. It's just great stuff because, how as you as the individual can you find out all this information? The beauty of the web is that you've got specialty sites like this that take a comprehensive approach and a focus on one aspect of life, whether it be a sport, a political belief, a religion, anything. Or in the case of golf, it's a political sport and a religion all in one. But again, does the average person have the time in these stressful times to start winding their way through and finding out where the specials are, where the deals is, who's offering what's open, what's reopened. And that's the beauty of this site, is that there's so much, as much fun as it is, and it's great to look at the pictures, and kind of go off into one of those reveries. Try not to do it while you're driving, but one of those reveries about, again, that smell, that Saturday morning, that dewy early morning feeling when at first you're a little tired, but you just drag yourself out of bed and then bang, you're on the course. So there's Rhode Island doesn't have anything like this, and for a state that's got so much to offer in the way of golf, it's been sorely missed. And one as I always describe is one of the great features about people who innovate for a living, who are entrepreneurs, who are, I guess the term now is disruptor, is they answer questions people didn't even know they had, or they solve problems that people didn't even know they had. And this is a case where I don't know that anyone thought to themselves, hey, you know what, we don't have a website for the state that I can really hyper-focus on my love of golf. Well, now you can. So again, Golf News RI. What else you got for us this week, Joe? Any other breaking stuff, or any thoughts on how one should approach the game this weekend? In terms of weather, or in terms of technique, or maybe is there anything people should do who might be going out this weekend for the first time? A little extra stretching, a little practice on the swing. What are your thoughts?
Well, one positive is, and this went along with the golf carts announcement. It was kind of buried a little bit in our article, but the focus of it was the carts were the big news. But one positive is that the practice ranges and the practice putting greens are now allowed to be open at courses across the state. That previously was not the case. You just had to go to the first tee, cold, as they say in sports speak, and just hit. But now courses that have them, which a lot of courses do. I should say most, but a lot of courses do. They have practice ranges and practice greens, and those are now open. So, and I'm not sure what that means for the straight up driving ranges across the state. I imagine that means they'll be open as well. But certainly look into that if you're not looking to play, but you just want to get some swings in and kind of get in shape for the game or get in shape for the season. The practice ranges and driving ranges will now be open. So that's big, and that's big for me too, because I try to go practice at least once a week. I don't just go play every day. I try to at least practice once a week, and usually it helps me by the time mid-season and tournament season gets here. So that's a big positive. Like I said, that was part of that article about the golf carts. If you missed it, that little factoid was a little bit buried in all the other stuff, but that was a big development as well for golf in Rhode Island this week. Because as you know, and I know you don't play much, but people like to practice, people like to hit those putts and get a feel for it, and all that other stuff. So that was a big development and something that people might have missed in the all the other craziness of the breaking news day that we had today.
People with lives. Can I just like live vicariously through them for just a couple of days? I'm that guy in the window at the restaurant doing this, peering in. That's me. Sad but true. Well, what any other big news breaking this week? What are your thoughts now? How many times have you been out, by the way? I got to ask, since things are getting into this new normal.
Since the end of March, I probably played like 7 or 8 times. Not a ton, but I've been out there. I've been playing. So now that carts are available, it makes it easier to go play because you don't have to walk 18 holes, and it also goes faster than just walking. I don't have to carry my own bag. So because I'm not in shape at all. So now that carts are available, and now with this new Cup Caddy product making its rounds, and you can actually put the ball into the hole, it kind of makes golf a little bit more like golf, Right. So between the carts and the Cup Caddy, I'm kind of beginning to get excited now for golf season and for the summer. Like I mentioned a million times, tournaments and leagues are still prohibited for now, but it's May 7th, so there's still a long summer to go, and who knows where we'll be in a month or two. And as we saw, no one knows because they closed Triggs yesterday till June, and today they decided to open it. So that's just as my headphones fall out here. Nobody really knows where we're going to be. So it'll be something to keep an eye on. But I played around 7 or 8 times this year.
What is the situation with restaurants and dining facilities at the clubs? I assume the snack bar is a long-standing tradition. Actually, this is critical. If you're like me, or once or twice a year golfer, there is no more welcome sight on the cart than that lovely woman who drives around the cart with the ice water. Yeah, okay, with beer. Much like the cavalry showing up, and the earlier in the morning, the better. There she hearkens. You can see her on the distant hills, and you think she's on your way, and yikes, she goes to the next. And when she finally arrives, you're all there bowing before her. But is that allowed right now? Can someone jet around the course? And so
I don't think I could be wrong. But I don't think the cart girl, as they call her, are out on courses right now because of the restrictions. But clubs or clubhouses or restaurants, they're open for takeout, and you can also call. Like you can call from whatever hole, and I think most places will bring you out food or drinks or whatever you want. So it's not quite cart girl status yet, but most clubhouses. Or clubs or restaurants, whatever you want to call them, are open for takeout. Like every other restaurant, like all the other restaurants, they abide by the same rules as the regular restaurants in Rhode Island. But they're open for takeout, or you can order a sandwich on the 5th hole, and it'll be there by 6 or 7 probably, whatever it is. I'm going
to make a suggestion for a competition here, and this might be later in the year. You have to see how things go, obviously, with openings and facilities. But there are 2 or 3 areas that golf clubs excel in. First of all is the great club sandwich. There are some amazing club sandwiches out there. And there are some amazing burgers out there. And even a few will offer a lobster roll. So I'm going to suggest that we somehow, maybe we could do it for charity or something, but I think that the efforts, the yeoman-like heroic efforts of those at their respective golf course 19th holes deserve recognition. So I think we need to start asking people, what is the best golf course hamburger in Rhode Island? And I would be interested. I would be interested in knowing. These are the kind of things that I'm interested in finding out about. There's an entire culture to golf courses that I find amazing. It's the quality of the food, but the type of food, the great people, the events that they have, the socializing that goes within the club. Entire families are raised to side by each. If it's a Woonsocket golf course, it's wonderful stuff. So I'm just going to throw that out there, Joe. I think there's a competition to be had. No efforts like that should go unrecognized, as far as I'm concerned. Well,
let's do it.
Absolutely. Well, Joe, I think if you're going to tease us for next week at all, or is it just kind of the news cycle within the golf world? I know you're working on a couple of things, but anything you want to share with us?
No, I mean, I'm excited to be on the show. Like you mentioned earlier, we have a big announcement coming in the next week or next couple of days, whatever it might be. So we're excited for that. We're just excited to keep building one day at a time. And I know I said I have we'll have more product announcements with the people of Cupcat, people that developed the Cupcat. We're going to continue to endorse them. That's a great product and really helps the game, really benefits the game. So we're looking to make that blow up, and I'm just excited for our progress so far. We're only 4 weeks in, as I said, but we're almost near 7,000 page views through 4 weeks, which isn't bad. So we're just excited to keep building. Like I said last time, and I say it all the time, we're very thankful for all the support that we've gotten, for all the people that follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and we're still trying to figure out Instagram, but we're getting there. And we're just thankful for the support. We're thankful for the local companies reaching out to us to help promote their products. And we're thankful for the support of the clubs that we've gotten. And so we're just looking to build one day at a time here, one story at a time, one day at a time, 1 week at a time, and go from there. And like I said, today was a big day for us. It was super busy. I was running around. I ran into the room over here to do this after I got myself out of my pajamas for the day. Not literally. So no, we're just looking to build one day at a time. There's some stuff that we have coming down the road, some initiatives that we're going to launch eventually, but I don't want to say anything, tease them too much, just in case. You never know. You know how the media things work and media business works. As me and you have experienced many times, sometimes things just fall apart. So, but we are excited for upcoming announcements, and I'm excited for the announcement that me and you are going to put together probably over the weekend. I'm sure we'll be having our 1 a.m. Facebook chats as per usual. And we'll figure it out. So no, I'm just excited. I'm excited for our progress, and like I said, thank you to everyone who has supported us over the weeks, and we're hopefully going to look to continue to build and put up more cool content, more innovative content, but also give you the news too, right? We're a news site. Our goal is to give you the news, and so that's our number one priority is news. But obviously, we're looking to build around that as well.
Excellent. Well, thanks again for joining us. Again, we'll have some more developments. Both of our projects were essentially born during COVID. It's afforded us an opportunity to put a focus on this. That, well, and perhaps also, let's just say that the ability of folks to have a little extra time to try a new media project has been sort of a very hidden silver lining to this, and we're grateful for folks who have spent the time here with us tonight. You are listening to the Golf News RI edition, if you will, of the Coalition. And while normally on a political basis we might be loud and proud, today it's just kind of boisterous and fun. It's a beautiful late spring evening here in sunny Rhode Island. It harkens back to maybe a simpler time just a few months ago when we were looking forward to a summer. But again, great news today. There's a wonderful opportunity for Rhode Islanders to get together, go to their local public or private or semi-private golf course, get a little exercising, get a little walking in, and get to love a sport that I think incorporates competition, precision, fun, outdoorsmanship. It's really the best of all worlds. And I'm proud to say that Golf News RI is going to join us and actually give folks additional insight into how to play, where to play, some tips, techniques, things to do. So let's have some fun. Joe, we'll talk again very shortly. We're going to take a little bit of a break now. We are the Coalition, loud and proud, outrage porn-free, civilly disobedient media broadcasting live on the Worldwide Coalition Radio Network here at coalitionradionetwork.com, facebook.com/the Coalition Radio, on the mighty Twitter at Coalition_radio, and well, kind of our new mothership. We're morphing into a newer, more powerful website at coalitionradionetwork.com. We will have replays of Golf News RI here on the page shortly. It's literally evolving and growing like Joe's website. Every day we're adding new features. So you can watch us in the future on the YouTube, on Periscope, at Coalition_radio. You're going to be able to watch us shortly on LinkedIn. You can watch us, well, virtually everywhere.
And Pat, we'll be posting it on our site tomorrow.
Excellent. All right, live updates at Golf News RI. No worries, buddy. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon. Thank you.